How's it going, everyone? Frankenstein Gaming here with the new video. Today we're talking Nintendo Switch 2, Nintendo Switch 2 pre-order delays, updates, some new info we've gotten, and more. So grab a hot drink, buckle up, and get ready for some news. Alright, so unfortunately Nintendo has delayed Switch 2 pre-orders in Canada. This follows shortly after the pre-orders were delayed in the US just a few days later. The console was originally unveiled on April 2nd, and, a lot of people were hyped about it. There was some definite issues, of course. People were upset about the price, but overall, people were excited, and now we cannot pre-order it due to ongoing economic challenges in the world, and Nintendo is going to provide updates at a later date. I personally think they might wait until like May 8th, which was alluded to as when invites would go out for the Nintendo pre-orders. If you signed up through Nintendo, so I kind of think they might go with that date, which would suck. At the current time, the June 5th release date is not affected, so apparently it's still releasing June 5th worldwide. We'll see if that changes in the coming weeks and months, who knows. But at the moment, it is still $450 for the console and $500 with the Mario Kart World Tour bundle. We'll see if those prices change. While it's not all doom and gloom, some games are up for pre-order. This Daemon Ex Machina Titanic Scion, both the limited edition and the regular edition, are available for pre-order in certain retailers such as Amazon, VGP. It's also on Best Buy where I pre-ordered it. Pretty cool limited edition, just wanted to flag that. Also, Story of Seasons, Grand Bazaar, and Rune Factory 6, I guess, Guardians of Azuma, I think we're calling it 6, are also up for pre-order, which is very nice to see. We have some more articles here. This comes from Nintendo Life. Nintendo Switch 2 Joy-Cons will not feature Hall effect sticks, and I know a lot of people are disappointed by this, but they have been redesigned from the ground up. And in watching the preview events that I've seen a bunch of YouTubers at, and even just regular old non-content creators up over on Twitter, X, whatever, people have really liked how they feel. Whether they drift or not in the future is another story. The drift thing was not great. Sure, Joy-Cons drift, PlayStation 5 controllers drift. Hall effect can drift. It's a myth that they don't drift. It just takes much longer for them to drift. But they can totally drift. Joy-Con 2 controllers have been designed from the ground up. They're not Hall effect sticks, but they feel really good. This comes from an interview with Nate Bildorf from Nintendo of America. Bildorf comments on the supposed quietness of the Pro Controller, and apparently, in particular, the left and right control sticks are quieter and don't make noise even when they're moved quickly to the edge, glide very smoothly, so we've taken to calling them smooth gliding sticks. Nintendo's running a long-term project to create the pinnacle of all controllers, notably stopped short of saying whether he believed the company had achieved its goal with the Switch 2's Pro Controller. Switch 1 Pro Controller was fantastic. I like the additional macros for the Switch 2 Pro Controller, and apparently you can program them per game, which is cool. We'll have to see if that actually holds true, but it's a nice step in the right direction. We also have this from Nintendo Everything. Nintendo Switch 2 doesn't have achievements, unfortunate, and still no eShop music, but the eShop's been redesigned as well. As you can see, here's a little screenshot of it. Looks pretty nice. Apparently it's much more snappy. Nintendo hasn't fully embraced the feature of achievements. We do see it in some games here and there, but definitely a case-by-case basis. Bill Trennan gave a clear answer on this. It's worth noting Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom will have achievements on the Nintendo Switch 2 editions, but again, that's limited to these titles. Mario Kart World has its own system in place, but they haven't detailed it. No eShop music, unfortunately. 3DS and Wii U may be the last systems that have eShop music. We'll see. Unlike back then, the eShop now has lots of videos that are showcasing the games. We don't want to intrude on that, so we have music there. I think you can have music on the eShop, period, and then when videos are playing, you pause the music. I mean, am I crazy here? Just putting that out there. I think it would be nice, Nintendo. Just do it. Anyway, while Nintendo Switch 2 won't have music, there should be substantial improvements, but he wanted to make sure that it was a smooth experience. And thank God I'd rather that, to be honest with you, because the eShop is an abysmal dumpster fire on the Nintendo Switch currently. It is so laggy, it's crazy. Just wanted to also showcase this, just a quick look at the Switch box art for Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza. I also realized I called it World Tour before, that's my fault. Nintendo Switch 2 cases no longer feature red spines and instead look like the box art wraps around them. This comes from Nintendo, like I said. Looks really nice. This is from the Nintendo Museum in Kyoto. I really like this. I'm excited. This is kind of like more of the GameCube era that we had and 3DS and stuff, so I'm in on that, to be honest with you. One last article, again from Nintendo Everything. This says Nintendo Switch 2 will have optional friend codes. Basically, they're gonna bring back friend codes, but it'll just be one of the many different ways you can add your friends or new players or new people you meet on the Nintendo Switch 2 console. You'll be able to transfer your friends list from the Switch 1 over to Switch 2. You'll also be able to scan a QR code on the Nintendo Switch 2 Switch phone app. Add a note for every friend if they change their name. I really want this on the console. I hope it's not just on the phone because a lot of my friends change their name and I'm like, who is this? On the current Nintendo Switch, you have the option to add friends. You can add them via 3DS or Wii U. There used to be social media suggestions as well, but Nintendo removed that functionality. Maybe X or Twitter will be back on the Switch 2, who knows, but for the moment, this is what we have. Alright, that's going to do it for this video. Nintendo Switch 2 updates, pre-orders, a bunch of new features, a lot of stuff that's been coming out that was originally embargoed is now we're getting more information on. Very cool to see. I'm super excited. I'm still super stoked about the Nintendo Switch 2. I just want to be able to pre-order it so my mind's a little bit more at ease, but we do have some games on the way, which is pretty funny because I can't get the console yet. If you liked the video, let me know below what you're most excited for the Nintendo Switch 2, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.